Hello and welcome. My name is Space Muffin, and this is The Void Diablo. Today we're going to be discussing the atmosphere and themes of Diablo Immortal. So, Diablo has always been one of those franchises, well, at least in Diablo 1 and 2, to be very gritty and scary and almost dark and kind of gothic horror type stuff, and medieval horror is kind of what they were going for in that one. Diablo 3 addresses a lot of the complaints that people had about Diablo 2. Hey, this is too dark, you can't really see the colors, everything looks muddy. And then, of course, people didn't like what they did with Diablo 3's art style, but I think Diablo 3 did a lot of things right. They still have that kind of brutal horror type theme going on, but it's more of a fantasy type world. And that's okay, that's fine. I really, am interested to see kind of what they do with Diablo Immortal. And as we can see thus far, they're kind of mixing a little bit of each Diablo game in there. So they kind of have the color scheme of Diablo 3, a little bit more toned down, a little less like in your face, bright colors. The other thing is the environments in Diablo Immortal seem to be a little bit more grim. You have cemeteries, you have creepy forests and things like that. We haven't really seen any like deserts too much or anything like that. But, you have a lot of, nooks and crannies that you can go down in the game. And, I think that if obviously they have to kind of widen the audience for Diablo Immortal. They can't make it too brutal. They can't make it too bloody. I believe the game is going to be rated T for teen. Don't quote me on that, but I mean, that's just what I've seen thus far. But I don't know, they're going for a kind of, it's still kind of a fantasy theme, but they're adding elements from previous Diablo games as well. And, they're really trying to distinguish it. Now, once again, a lot of people believe that this is just Diablo 3 on mobile. And if you really look at the game, I suppose from an outside perspective, someone who really hasn't played Diablo 3 or Diablo Immortal, when they look at the game, yeah, they can look very similar, but Diablo Immortal does have its own distinct flavor going for it, that they're trying to go for. That kind of is in between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, which, that's when the game takes place. But, I don't know, it's something that it's really up to, personal preference, what different opinions do people have about this. And, for me, I really like the art direction and the style that they're going for in Diablo Immortal. Is it perfect? No, but it's a really, really, really good start, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. They do need to have the horror elements there. They need to make things a little bit scary, but it doesn't need to be a survival horror game. They need to make it, interesting, and the environment's dynamic. And that seems to be something that they're doing more. As I discussed in a previous video, they're making things a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more interactive. So that's always cool. That's always a plus when we can interact with the environment a little bit more. And not just, it's not just set dressing where we go and just slash up monsters all day, But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the theme and the atmosphere of Diablo Immortal? I'd love to hear you guys' opinions. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.